Hello, Virgo. In no particular order, this is what you can do for your mental health this week, the 7th through the 13th. We have the Six of Pentacles, so balancing giving and taking. And the Two of Cups also talks about balance, and it talks about healing. It talks about the duality of things and integrating that duality, bringing two into one, into harmony as one. And the King of Cups in reverse, this can talk about, it can talk about sometimes having a confused partner who's unable to commit because they're unable to control their emotions. It can also talk about, abuse and moodiness, addiction, because of not being able to deal with and heal emotions that are out of control. That leads to addiction. So unfortunately, in that regard, it can also talk about emotional manipulation and codependence when the King of Cups is in the reverse. So you're looking at healing that and balancing that out, whether it's codependence or it's addiction or whatever is affecting your ability to deal with your emotions in a proper way. You're looking at balancing that out and healing that between the spiritual and the mental and the physical body, between yourself and maybe between another person. You're looking at getting that harmony and that unity back. Then we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, he sits there and he looks at stuff from a different perspective. He thinks about things after he's observed them. He's got a quiet power and a quiet strength to himself. He has a lot of transformative thinking. He has this intellectual clarity that you don't see otherwise. And it's very beautiful. It's very strengthening and heartening, the way that he just looks at stuff and observes and then thinks deeply about it in order to make his decisions on what to do. Now, for clarity, we have Death, which is talking about transformation. It's talking about shedding the old, purging the old, in order to have this new clarity of thought. So purging old thoughts, old behavior patterns, things that aren't working out for you, in order to move forwards. Then we have the Magician in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles talks about that mothering, that nurturing nature. And when you nurture yourself and you take care of your mental health, that's going to help you move forwards. That's going to bring in your abundance that you want. So you're transforming that. The Magician in reverse is talking about this this unease that you've been feeling. It can even be talking about like a sense of powerlessness, or that your potential isn't being tapped because you have this feeling of powerlessness, this unease, this there isn't open communication, and there's a lack of planning. So this is what you're working on, really looking at deeply and transforming to nurture yourself. You're planning, you're starting to shed that sense of not feeling comfortable in your own skin, and nurture yourself, because you're looking around you, you're seeing things for what they are and how they are, and how that's affecting you and your thought process. Now we have Three of Swords with the Chariot, the Four of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, Three of Swords, this is talking about something that was painful, something that hurt you, and you're learning from that, some sort of rejection or betrayal, some heartbreak. You're using your willpower, you're gaining wisdom. You've sat there and you've thought about that moment and what happened. You've looked from deep within and you've gained this wisdom about it. And now you're taking action. You're taking this balanced action to move forwards towards your celebration, towards your unity, towards your healing, towards your happy home life, away from this heartbreak and rejection. You learned from it, it happened, and now you're moving away from it. And that's the best thing that you could ever do. Then we have Ten of Wands, Five of Swords came out with the Lady. And this talks about dropping your burdens. Five of Swords, so an end and a beginning to this cycle. And the Five of Swords, it talks about having this mindset of entitlement. Somebody around you had this mindset that they had to win at all costs. They were burdened if they didn't win, and they weren't going to have abundance. They weren't going to have that ability to create abundance if they didn't win, and they had to do everything they could to win. It's that sort of my way or the highway type thinking with the Five of Swords. And the clarifier, the only one I could get for it, even specifically for the Five of Swords, I asked a couple decks. Ten of Swords in reverse. This talks about hope and recovery. It talks about acceptance. On the other hand, it can also talk about resisting an inevitable ending. So whatever this is, this Five of Swords, it needs to end. Although to me, this is not about you resisting it. It's about an acceptance, and that brings a renewal, an opportunity for liberation and change. I'll read to you from the Druidcraft. It says, it may not last long, so it is important to act on the potential that it offers. You may have realized that the ultimate battle is not with some external enemy or situation, but with an aspect of your own inner condition, and now is the time to work with it consciously, perhaps with a therapist, or maybe with the clarity of your own renewed strength and insight. And then we also have Five of Swords came up as a clarifier for the moon. The moon talks about insight. It talks about clarity. It talks about getting your intuition on how to come out of these stormy, these not so calm waters up onto this higher, more solid ground and find this middle path, the one that is right for you. And the clarifier for the moon, the Five of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, this is a very slow moving knight, but he is a steady moving knight. He is very passionate and romantic. You can see that the bug is, a love bug there. It's got a heart-shaped wing on either side of him. He takes inspiration. He uses his charm and his empathy to move forwards. And this is about transforming your emotions around this negative situation, around this situation of having to win at all costs, Otherwise, you're going to be burdened forever and you're not going to have your abundance. So really looking at this, where you might be experiencing or where somebody else has around you has this attitude and how it affects you. Five of Swords is coming up for a lot of signs this week. So really looking deeply at that and how that might affect your life, how not working collaboratively with others, how feeling like it's okay to do stuff a certain way without examining it because it's always been done that way, or it's going to lead you to your abundance. That's something that you can do this week. Have a good one. I'll see you next week. Bye.